There are exactly 47 steps between our front door and the dining room where my entire family was celebrating Mother's Day, and I counted every single one while carrying 2 envelopes. One held divorce papers, the other proved my brother had been sleeping with my wife for 18 months, and one of my 5-year-old twins wasn't mine. If you've got some time, maybe grab a coffee or something, because this story is long. But I promise you, every minute is worth it. I've been holding this in for a year now, and honestly, telling it feels like finally exhaling after holding your breath underwater. So, why did I wait 6 months after discovering the affair to blow everything up? Why did I smile at family dinners while knowing my younger brother, the one I raised after our parents died, was betraying me in the worst way possible? Here's what happened. I had what looked like a perfect life: suburban Colorado home, 12-year marriage to Amanda, twin 5-year-old boys named Ethan and Noah, and a job as a paramedic that I actually loved. My younger brother Andrew lived nearby, came to all our family events, and everyone thought we were this tight-knit, beautiful family. People used to tell me how lucky I was that my wife and brother got along so well. Yeah, lucky. What I didn't know was that for a year and a half, they'd been conducting an affair right under my nose. And what I really didn't know, what almost destroyed me when I found out, was that one of my twin sons wasn't biologically mine. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up. I was 17 when my parents died in a car accident. Andrew was 12. It was November 2001, 3 days before Thanksgiving. Black ice on I-25. They were gone instantly. I remember sitting in the social worker's office, holding Andrew's hand while she explained our options. Foster care, splitting us up, or I could become his legal guardian if I could prove I could support us. I was supposed to start at CU Boulder that next fall, had a partial scholarship and everything. Instead, I dropped out of high school. Technically, I got my GED and got 2 jobs: grocery store during the day, stocking shelves for $9 an hour, security guard at night, watching empty office buildings for $11.50 an hour. I slept maybe 4 hours a night for 2 years. I went to his parent-teacher conferences, sat in those tiny chairs meant for actual parents, filling out permission slips, signing report cards. I coached his Little League team because he loved baseball, and I'd promised Mom I'd keep him in sports. I drove him to practice in our beat-up Honda Civic that kept breaking down. I made him do his homework at the kitchen table while I paid bills and tried to figure out how we'd make rent. I saved $200 a month for his college fund. Some months, I skipped meals to do it. Andrew never knew that. When he got a scholarship to Colorado State, full ride for academics, I cried in the bathroom so he wouldn't see. I'd done it. I'd kept him safe. I'd kept him on track. I'd kept my promise to Mom and Dad. Looking back now, I realize Andrew never really said thank you, not directly. There were no "I appreciate you" moments, no acknowledgement of what I'd given up. I told myself it was just teenage boy stuff, you know? Guys don't get emotional about that kind of thing. But there was always this sense that he took it for granted, like he was entitled to my sacrifice, like I hadn't given up my entire future so he could have his. Fast forward to 2013. I'm 29, working as a paramedic at County General Hospital in the Denver suburbs, and I meet Amanda. She's 27, a new ER nurse, bubbly and competent, and seemed to admire my work ethic. We dated for 8 months and got married. Andrew was 24 at the time, and he was my best man. He gave this touching speech about how I was the big brother who raised me, and how Amanda was good for me because I deserved someone who'd take care of me for once. That statement haunts me now. The first few years of marriage were good, really good. Then in 2017, the twins were born, Ethan and Noah. Amanda took 12 weeks of leave, and I worked overtime to cover the bills. We were tired, we were stressed, but we were happy. That's what I thought anyway. Then in 2018, Andrew's life started falling apart. He'd developed a gambling problem, sports betting mostly. He hit rock bottom with $35,000 in debt and an eviction notice. He called me at 2 a.m, crying, begging for help. And of course, I helped him. Amanda and I took him in. "You're family," we told him. "We don't abandon family." He lived in our finished basement for 3 years. He had his own key to the house, one of those Colorado Rockies keychain ones. Amanda helped him with job applications, made him meals. I co-signed a loan so he could pay off his debts. I drove him to Gamblers Anonymous meetings. By 2022, he'd recovered. He got a job in medical equipment sales, moved into his own apartment. I helped with the security deposit. I thought I'd saved him. Again. Between 2022 and 2023, everything seemed normal. I worked 12-hour shifts as a paramedic, 3 or 4 days a week. Amanda worked at the ER on a rotating schedule, days, nights, weekends. Andrew came to family dinners, the boys' birthday parties, holidays. Extended family thought we were perfect. Michael saved Andrew, they'd say. They're so close. What a hero. But there were cracks, small ones. I noticed them but didn't want to see them, if that makes sense. It started with Amanda's phone. Around mid-2023, she started keeping it face down all the time. She'd never done that before. Then Andrew started texting her directly about family plans instead of using our group chat. Amanda would suggest we invite Andrew to things. He's been alone since his ex-girlfriend left him. Let's include him. I wanted to believe I was paranoid. Work stress, new dad anxieties, that kind of thing. I told myself I was lucky my wife and brother got along. There was this one moment in early September 2023. We were having a family barbecue at our house. I was grilling burgers, and Amanda and Andrew were setting the table together. The twins were playing in the yard. I watched them laugh together, and I felt it. This thing in my gut, this wrongness. But I pushed it down. Andrew left that night and hugged me. "Thanks for everything, bro," he said. I don't say it enough. I went to bed that night and stared at the ceiling while Amanda slept next to me. I didn't know then that that was the last normal day of my life. 2 weeks later, I found the key. It was late September, maybe the 23rd or 24th. I woke up at 6 in the morning to use the bathroom. Amanda was supposed to be on a night shift at the hospital. I walked past our nightstand and saw a spare house key sitting there. I recognized it immediately, the Colorado Rockies keychain, Andrew's key. Why was it on our nightstand? Why at 6 in the morning? I checked outside. Andrew's car wasn't there. I called him, trying to sound casual. "Hey, you coming by today?" His voice was groggy, caught off guard. No, why? I'm at my place." "Cool, just checking." I hung up. My heart was pounding. I checked Amanda's location on our phones. We had that Find My Friends thing set up. It showed she was at the hospital, but someone had been in my house, and they'd left Andrew's key on the nightstand. That's when the paranoia really started. Or maybe it wasn't paranoia. Maybe it was finally paying attention. I couldn't let it go. Later that day, Amanda left her phone on the counter while she was in the shower. I checked it. I know, it's a violation of privacy. But I was desperate. I found the deleted messages folder. It was mostly empty, but there were recent deletions. I couldn't see the content, but I could see they existed. I checked her call logs. Frequent calls to Drew. That's what she called, Andrew. Sometimes 20-minute calls, always when I was at work. I checked her car. Found a men's hoodie that wasn't mine. It smelled like cologne, not my cologne. I felt insane. I felt like I was betraying her by checking, but I couldn't stop. I tried to confront her casually. "You and Andrew talk a lot lately, huh?" "Yeah, he's been going through stuff. You know how he gets. I'm just being supportive." "What stuff?" She got defensive, just slightly, but it was there. "Just work stress. Why, is that a problem?" I backed down. "No, it's fine." But that's when I knew. She'd never been defensive before. Not like that. I started tracking patterns. October 2023, Amanda picked up 6 extra shifts. She said the hospital was short-staffed. I called HR anonymously, pretending to be a patient's family member, asking about ER staffing. They weren't short-staffed. I noticed Andrew's social media posts. He'd post late at night, photos of the Denver skyline from his apartment, captions like, "late night grind." On the same nights Amanda claimed to be working doubles, I started keeping a journal, just notes, dates, times, inconsistencies. "They're coordinating," I wrote. "I don't know how, I don't know where, but they are." In November, I bought a GPS tracker off Amazon, $40. I felt disgusting attaching it under Amanda's car bumper. I'd never done anything like that in my life. But I needed to know. The first week, Amanda said she was working a night shift, Thursday 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. The tracker showed her car at the hospital until 11:45 p.m. Then it moved to Andrew's apartment complex. It stayed there from 12:10 a.m. until 6:30 a.m. I threw up, I actually threw up in our bathroom while she was sleeping in our bed. The second week, same pattern. 3 nights that week. Her car at Andrew's apartment during her supposed shifts. I could have confronted them then, but I didn't. I needed everything. Every piece of evidence. Because if I was going to burn this down, I was going to make sure it stayed burned. Early December, I hired a private investigator. Used my Christmas bonus money. $2,500 for the retainer. His name was Greg Foster, ex-cop. I told him everything. He said he'd seen a lot in his job, but brother-in-law affairs were unusual. This one's rough, he said. Within a week, Greg sent me photos. Amanda and Andrew entering Andrew's apartment together at 9 p.m. on December 18th. Lights on in Andrew's bedroom window. Amanda leaving at 5:30 a.m., clearly wearing the same clothes from the night before. Greg's note said, "I'm sorry, this one's brutal." I stared at those photos for 2 hours. Then I opened a notebook and wrote one word: plan. Christmas 2023 was hell. We had the whole family over. My side, Amanda's parents. Andrew was there, of course. I watched them. The subtle touches, the inside jokes, the coordinated lying. At one point, Andrew said, "Amanda, didn't you say you wanted to try that new restaurant?" Amanda responded, "Oh yeah, Michael, we should go sometime." I could tell they'd already been. The way they said it, it was too casual, too rehearsed. My mother said, "Michael, you're so lucky Amanda and Andrew get along. Some families aren't this close." I wanted to flip the table. I wanted to scream. Instead, I smiled and said, "Yeah, I'm really lucky." I excused myself to the bathroom. I looked in the mirror and saw myself breaking. That's when I decided, I can't keep doing this. I either burn it all down, or it burns me. Late December, I started noticing differences in the twins. Ethan looked exactly like me. Brown hair, hazel eyes, the same nose. Noah had blonde hair, blue eyes, different facial structure. He looked like Andrew. I'd always assumed it was genetic variance. Amanda's father has blonde hair, but now I had to know. I ordered a paternity test kit online. DNA Solutions Lab, $199. I collected cheek swabs from the twins during bath time, plus my own sample, mailed it in. I waited 10 days, longest 10 days of my life. The results arrived January 8th, 2024. Ethan, 97% probability of paternity. My son. Noah, 0% probability of paternity. Not my son. I read those results 3 times. One of my sons wasn't mine. Andrew had fathered one of my twins. That same week, Greg sent me an audio file. He'd installed a voice-activated recorder in Andrew's apartment. Legally gray area, but I didn't care anymore. I listened to it in my car in a grocery store parking lot. It was 42 minutes long. I heard Amanda and Andrew in bed together. Post-sex conversation, intimate, casual. Andrew, do you think he knows, Amanda? Michael, no. He's too busy being the hero. He doesn't see anything that's not a medical emergency. Laughter. Andrew, I feel bad sometimes. He's my brother. Amanda, you feel bad? I'm the one sleeping next to him every night, but honestly, I don't feel that bad anymore. We've been pretending for so long. Maybe it's time to just be us. Andrew, what about the kids? Amanda, Ethan's definitely his. Noah, the timing works out. Noah could be yours. Does it matter? Andrew, I don't know. Do you want to know? Amanda, not really. Ignorance is bliss, right? More laughter. I punched the steering wheel, bruised my hand, screamed in the car. Then I sat in silence for 30 minutes, called in sick to work for the first time in 5 years. I went to a motel, didn't tell Amanda where I was, just said emergency work training. I spent 3 days there alone. Day 1, I cried until I couldn't breathe, paced the room, didn't eat. Day 2, rage. I threw the TV remote at the wall, broke the bathroom mirror with my fist, cut my hand, didn't care. Day 3, numbness. I stared at the ceiling. I felt completely empty. I kept replaying the recording. Every family dinner. Every time I'd covered for Andrew, helped him, saved him. Every time I'd trusted Amanda. I'd built my entire adult life around these 2 people, and they'd been laughing at me. I looked at photos of the twins on my phone. I couldn't look at Noah without seeing Andrew, but he was still a kid. He didn't ask for this. I looked at myself in the broken mirror. "You're done being the victim," I said out loud. "They want to play games? Fine, let's play." I checked out of the motel and drove home. Amanda was worried. "Where were you? You didn't answer my texts." I was calm, cold. "Work thing, I'm fine." She tried to hug me. I pulled away. "I'm exhausted. I need a shower." In the shower, I made my plan. 4 goals. Gather every piece of evidence. Protect Ethan. Destroy them both. Publicly, financially, emotionally. Do it at a moment they'd never see coming. From late January through April 2024, I pretended everything was fine. I smiled at Amanda. I invited Andrew to family events. I acted normal. But internally, I was building a case. Greg continued surveillance. More photos, more recordings. I met with a divorce lawyer, Rebecca Hartman. She came highly recommended, known for her aggressive tactics in high-conflict family law cases. Her office was in downtown Denver, 14th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Everything about it screamed expensive and ruthless. Perfect. Our first meeting was February 7th. I brought everything. The PI photos in a manila folder. The paternity test results in a separate envelope. A USB drive with the audio recordings. Bank statements showing the affair expenses. A timeline I'd typed up. 18 months of lies, documented day by day. Rebecca went through it methodically. She's maybe 50, sharp gray suit, reading glasses on a chain. She didn't react much as she reviewed everything. Seen it all before, I guess, until she got to the paternity results. Then she looked up. "This is one of the worst cases I've seen," she said. "And I've seen a lot. Spousal infidelity with a sibling is rare. Paternity fraud on top of that, that's brutal. I'm sorry. Can we use it?" "Oh, we can absolutely use it. Colorado is no fault for divorce. Technically, you don't need grounds to file. But paternity fraud, plus clear evidence of an extramarital affair, gives us massive leverage for custody and asset division. The court will not look favorably on her conduct." She laid out the strategy. Full physical custody of Ethan, my biological son. The paternity test would prove Noah wasn't mine, which meant Amanda would likely get primary custody of him since she's his biological mother, and Andrew is his biological father. Asset division would favor me. The house was in my name before marriage, so it stayed mine. Retirement accounts would split, but we'd demand reimbursement for affair expenses. "What about child support?" I asked. "For Ethan, Amanda will likely owe you support since you're custodial parent. For Noah, that's complicated. Legally, you're on his birth certificate, so technically you could be liable. But given the paternity fraud, we can argue to terminate your parental rights and establish Andrew as legal father. Then Andrew pays support to Amanda for Noah." The elegance of it was beautiful. Andrew would be paying child support for the son he'd secretly fathered. Perfect karma. I hired a forensic accountant, Paul Chen, Rebecca's recommendation. Paul found $8,700 in affair expenses over 18 months. Hotels mostly. The Hyatt downtown, a few times. That boutique place in Boulder, the Brown Palace once. $270 for one night. Fancy dinners at restaurants I'd never been to. Gifts purchased at stores Amanda claimed she'd just been browsing at. All on our joint credit cards. I was literally paying for my own betrayal. Every time I made a credit card payment, I was funding their affair. I started therapy with Dr. Sarah Winters in early February. Rebecca recommended her. Sarah specialized in trauma related to infidelity and family betrayal. Weekly sessions, Tuesdays at 4 p.m., in her office in Lakewood. The first session, I told her everything. The whole story start to finish. I cried for the first time since the motel breakdown. She handed me tissues and let me get it all out. "What you're feeling is completely valid," she said. "You've experienced multiple betrayals simultaneously. Your wife, your brother, the person you raised, sacrificed for, the revelation about Noah, and you've been carrying this alone for months. That's an impossible weight." "I feel like a monster sometimes," I admitted. "Noah's innocent. He's 5 years old. And I look at him and I can't." "You're not a monster for having limits. You're human. You can't force yourself to parent a child who represents your deepest trauma. That doesn't make you cruel. It makes you honest." Those sessions kept me sane during the planning phase. Sarah helped me understand I wasn't punishing them out of pure vindictiveness. I was protecting myself and Ethan, setting boundaries, demanding accountability. "You're not the villain here," she said during one session. "You're a person who was betrayed in the worst possible way, and you're choosing to respond with clarity instead of chaos. That takes strength." I knew Noah was innocent. I knew this would hurt him. Every time I tucked him into bed during those months, knowing what was coming, I felt sick. But every time I looked at him, I saw Andrew. The same blonde hair, the same blue eyes, the same smile. And I couldn't pretend anymore. I mapped out the revenge across multiple fronts. This wasn't going to be one-dimensional. Legal, divorce papers with full custody request for Ethan, citing Amanda's infidelity and paternity fraud. Petition to establish Andrew as Noah's legal father and terminate my parental rights. Career. Amanda and Andrew's affair violated workplace ethics policies. Andrew, as a medical equipment sales rep, visited County General ER regularly, where Amanda worked. Their relationship was a professional conflict of interest. He was using family connection to secure sales. Amanda was potentially using work time and resources for personal affair. I drafted complaints to both employers with timeline, evidence, photos of them together on hospital premises. Financial. Andrew still owed me $10,000 on the loan I'd co-signed during his gambling addiction recovery. The promissory note gave me the right to call the full balance due with 60 days' notice. I planned to do exactly that. He also rented a condo from me, a property I'd inherited from my aunt in 2015, for $800 a month, way below market rate. Market rate was $1,400. I'd serve him eviction notice and re-rent at market rate. Social. This was the most important part. I needed witnesses. I needed everyone, our families, our friends, our community, to know the truth. Not gossip, not rumors. The actual truth, with evidence. I decided on Mother's Day. Sunday, May 12th. The date, the irony, was perfect. Amanda celebrates being a mother while I reveal the paternity truth. Plus, it gave me 3 months to finalize all legal documents. And here's the beautiful part. The twist that made it all even sweeter. Through Greg's surveillance in late March, I learned that Amanda and Andrew had also chosen Mother's Day for their announcement. They were planning to tell the family about their relationship at our annual family brunch. Amanda's idea, apparently. She wanted to control the narrative, Greg told me. Make it seem like this was a recent development, not 18 months of deception. Paint themselves as people who'd fallen in love despite trying not to. They had no idea I already knew everything. They thought they were in control. I spent March and April in intense preparation. Therapy twice a week during this period. Sarah wanted to make sure I was stable before detonating my life. I practiced staying calm, rehearsed what I'd say. Worked on my breathing exercises for when I felt the rage rising. I wrote letters I never sent. To Andrew. I gave you everything. You took everything. To Amanda. I loved you. You killed that. To Noah. I'm sorry. You don't deserve this, but I can't be your father. Writing them helped process the feelings without acting on them prematurely. My mantra, the one that got me through, came from therapy. You can't betray the hand that raised you and expect that hand to still hold you. I repeated it every morning, every night, whenever I wavered. Early May, everything was ready. Divorce papers signed and filed. Paternity results printed in official-looking folders with tabs. One for Amanda, one for Andrew, one for my mother, so she'd have proof when Andrew inevitably claimed I was lying. Eviction notice prepared, legally reviewed. Letters to both employers written, addressed, stamped, ready to mail. HR complaint drafted with supporting documentation. I even bought new locks for the house. They'd be installed the Monday after Mother's Day. Andrew's old key would be worthless. I rehearsed what I'd say. I practiced staying cold, because if I got emotional, I'd break, and I couldn't afford to break. They had 18 months to come clean. 18 months to do the right thing. They chose to lie every single day. So I chose Mother's Day. I chose witnesses. I chose to make sure everyone they loved would see exactly who they really were. Sunday, May 12th, 2024. I woke at 6 a.m. Amanda was still asleep. I showered, dressed in a casual button-down, looking normal. I checked my jacket pocket. 2 large envelopes. Envelope 1, divorce papers, paternity results, PI photos. Envelope 2, eviction notice, loan repayment demand, employer letters. The twins woke at 7. I made them pancakes, Amanda's favorite breakfast for special occasions. My small screw you. Amanda came downstairs, cheerful. I can't believe you made pancakes. You're so sweet. I looked at her flatly. It's Mother's Day. I texted Andrew, come around 11. We're starting brunch at 11:30. He replied, perfect. See you then. He had no idea. Amanda's mother, Susan, arrived first at 10:30, brought flowers. Then my mother, Linda, and my sisters, Karen and Rachel, at 10:45. Amanda's father, Tom, at 11. Andrew at 11 to 15. Casual clothes, brought wine, hugged everyone like he belonged there. The dining room table was set for 10 people. Conversation was light, cheerful. Amanda's mother said to Amanda, you look glowing. Being a mom suits you. Andrew helped Amanda set serving dishes. I watched their practice coordination. They'd done this before. My heart was pounding. I counted my breaths. I reminded myself, cold. Stay cold. At 11:30, everyone sat down. I sat at the head of the table. Amanda at the other end, twins between us. Andrew sat near Amanda. I'd arranged the seating deliberately. We ate. Quiche, fruit salad, pastries, coffee. Small talk about the kids' school, work, summer plans. My mother asked, you've been quiet lately, Michael. Everything okay? Everything's fine, Mom. Just work. At noon, we served dessert. Lemon cake, Susan's recipe. The same cake from my and Amanda's wedding 12 years ago. I watched Amanda cut the cake. I thought about our wedding. Every lie since. At 12:15, Amanda cleared her throat. So, Andrew and I have something we want to share with everyone. My mother smiled, curious. Amanda's mother leaned in. Oh, what is it? I stayed silent. Stared at Amanda. Amanda looked nervous. It's not easy to say, but we've been talking and we think it's time to be honest. Andrew took over. Amanda and we've developed feelings for each other. We've been seeing each other and we want to be together. Officially. Silence. Susan. Wait, what? My mother looked at me. Did you know about this? I nodded calmly. I did. Andrew turned to me. Look, man, I'm sorry. We didn't mean for this to happen, I interrupted. How long? Amanda tried. Michael, we can talk about this privately. How long? Andrew hesitated. About 6 months. I laughed, cold, bitter. Try 18. I stood up, walked to the hall closet, grabbed both envelopes, walked back, placed them on the table in front of my plate. They're lying, I said to everyone. It's been 18 months since September 2023. I know because I've been watching them for the last 6 months. Gasps around the table. My sister Karen's fork clattered against her plate. Amanda's face went white. Michael, you're being crazy. I cut her off, my voice eerily calm. I have photos, I have recordings. I have GPS tracking data showing your car at Andrew's apartment on nights you claim to be working at the hospital. I hired a private investigator in December. Greg Foster, former Denver PD. He's been documenting everything. I opened the first envelope slowly, deliberately, pulled out the photos one by one, and spread them across the table like I was dealing cards. Amanda and Andrew entering Andrew's apartment building. Timestamp December 18th, 2023, 9:17 p.m. Another photo. Amanda's car in Andrew's parking lot. Timestamp 12:43 a.m. Another. Amanda leaving Andrew's apartment 5:32 a.m. wearing the same clothes from the night before. Photo after photo. December, January, February, March, April. Susan grabbed one, stared at it, her hand shaking. Amanda, what is this? Mom, I can explain. Then explain. Tom's voice, Amanda's father. I'd never heard him sound like that before. Cold, disgusted. Amanda opened her mouth. Nothing came out. My mother was staring at Andrew, tears already starting. Andrew? He couldn't meet her eyes. I pulled out a piece of paper. This is a transcript of a phone call between them from January 23rd. Would you like me to read it? Michael, please. Amanda was crying now. Do you think he knows? I read. Michael, no. He's too busy being the hero. He doesn't see anything that's not a medical emergency. That's you, Amanda. laughing about how oblivious I am. My sisters had gone completely silent. Rachel's eyes were wide, horrified. "There's more," I continued. "I feel bad sometimes. He's my brother." "That's you, Andrew, feeling bad, but not bad enough to stop, apparently." And then Amanda says, "You feel bad? I'm the one sleeping next to him every night. But honestly, I don't feel that bad anymore." My mother made a sound, half gasp, half sob. And the best part, I pulled out the paternity test results. "Do you want to tell them, or should I?" Amanda was full-on sobbing now. Andrew had gone completely pale, frozen. "Tell us what?" Susan demanded. "The twins." I looked directly at Andrew. "You asked her about the twins on that same recording. What about the kids?" And Amanda said, "Ethan's definitely his, Noah. The timing works out. Noah could be yours." "Remember that conversation, Andrew?" Karen gasped. "Oh my God." So I got tested. I held up the paternity results. "Ethan, 9.97% probability that I'm his biological father. Noah, 0% probability because Noah is Andrew's son." The silence that followed was deafening. Then everyone started talking at once. Susan screaming at Amanda, Tom standing up, his chair scraping back. "You did what?" My mother sobbing. "Andrew, how could you? How could you do this to your brother?" Rachel grabbed my arm. "Michael, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Karen went to get the twins from the other room. They'd started crying at the shouting. Amanda tried to reach for me across the table. "Michael, please, we need to talk about this." "Talk?" I pulled my arm back. "You've had 18 months to talk. 18 months to tell me the truth. Instead, you and my brother—" I couldn't even finish the sentence. Andrew finally found his voice. "I'm sorry. God, Michael, I'm so sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. But you did." My voice was shaking now, the cold mask cracking. "You did hurt me. Every single day for a year and a half. Every family dinner where I invited you into my home. Every time I helped you with something. Every time I trusted you. You were betraying me. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. How was it supposed to happen, Andrew? You were supposed to sleep with my wife and father, my son, and I was just supposed to— what? Be okay with it?" He had no answer. I turned to the whole table. "So Amanda, since it's Mother's Day, here's your gift." I handed her the divorce papers. "You're being served. I filed last week. Custody hearing is scheduled for June 3rd. I'm requesting full custody of Ethan, my biological son. You can have Noah, since he's biologically yours, and Andrew's." Susan looked like she might faint. I handed the second envelope to Andrew. "And you. Eviction notice from my condo. You have 30 days. The $10,000 you owe me from the loan I co-signed, I'm calling it in. Full payment due in 60 days, or I take you to court. Also," I pulled out copies of letters. "These go to your employer tomorrow morning. Med Supply Solutions, right? Detailing how you used your family connection to my wife to secure sales at County General Hospital. Ethics violation, conflict of interest." Andrew stood up, his face red. "You can't do this." "I can, and I am." I pulled out another letter. "This one goes to County General's HR department, detailing Amanda's workplace affair with a vendor, conducted partially on hospital premises and during work hours. Ethics investigation should be fun. Michael, please, think about the kids." Amanda was reaching for me again. I stepped back. "I am thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about Ethan, my son. Who deserves a stable home with a parent who didn't lie to him for his entire life? Who deserves better than this?" I looked at Andrew, and everything I'd been holding in for 6 months came pouring out. "I raised you. When Mom and Dad died, I was 17 years old. I gave up college. I worked 2 jobs. I went to your parent-teacher conferences. I taught you how to shave, how to drive, how to be a man. I paid for your education. I saved you from your gambling addiction, let you live in my house for 3 years, co-signed a loan for $35,000 so you could pay off your debts." My voice broke. "I gave you everything, Andrew, everything, and you repaid me by sleeping with my wife, by fathering one of my sons, and then standing there at Christmas, at Thanksgiving, at the twins' birthday party, pretending everything was normal." My mother spoke through her tears. "Andrew, is it true? All of it?" He nodded slowly, eyes on the floor. Then you're not my son anymore. Her voice was flat, final. I don't care what your reasons were. I don't care how it happened. What you did is unforgivable. I picked up my jacket. I'm leaving. Amanda, you can stay here tonight to pack. After that, you're out. Andrew, you're not welcome in this house ever again. I looked at my mother and sisters. I'm sorry you had to see this, but I needed witnesses. I needed everyone to know the truth. I walked to where my sisters had taken the twins. I hugged Ethan tight. I love you. I'm going to take care of you. I looked at Noah. I'm sorry. I couldn't say more. I left the house, drove to a nearby park, sat in my car. I thought I'd feel victorious, satisfied. Instead, I felt empty, relieved but empty. My phone started blowing up, texts from Amanda begging, Andrew angry, my mother supportive. I turned off my phone. It was done. I couldn't take it back, but I didn't want to. The next week was chaos. I stayed at a hotel for 3 days, then moved back into the house. Amanda moved to her mother's. My mother was devastated. She refused to speak to Andrew, told him, "You're not my son anymore, not after this." My sisters Karen and Rachel cut Andrew off completely. They supported me fully. Amanda's mother initially blamed me for humiliating Amanda publicly. But after seeing all the evidence, she turned on Amanda. "How could you do this to your family?" Amanda's father, Tom, was furious at both Amanda and Andrew. He sided with me. Andrew tried calling me 47 times in the first week, sent desperate texts. "Please let me explain. I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you." I blocked him everywhere. Amanda begged me to reconsider. "We can go to therapy. We can fix this." My response, through my lawyer, "There's nothing to fix. It's over." Within 3 weeks, the professional consequences hit. I filed a formal complaint with County General HR on May 15th. They launched an investigation. Security footage confirmed Andrew had visited the ER during Amanda's shifts. They'd been caught on camera in the break room together, alone. Amanda received a written warning and mandatory ethics training. She was passed over for a charge nurse promotion she'd been expecting. Her reputation at the hospital was destroyed. Co-workers who were her friends stopped talking to her. She became a pariah. I sent a detailed letter to Andrew's employer, Med Supply Solutions, on May 13th. They launched an internal review. Andrew had used his family connection to Amanda to secure sales at County General, his biggest client. That was a conflict of interest. They reassigned him to a different territory, away from County General. He lost that commission, about $15,000 a year. His boss told him, "You're lucky we're not firing you." Both of them were now damaged goods in the Denver medical community. Gossip travels fast. The financial devastation came next. The divorce settlement finalized in August. I kept the house. We split retirement accounts, but Amanda had to repay $4,350, half the affair expenses. She moved into a small apartment on a single nurse's salary plus legal fees. Her lawyer cost her $12,000. Andrew couldn't pay the full $10,000 in 60 days. I took him to small claims court in September. I won. He's on a payment plan, $300 a month for 3 years. The eviction forced Andrew to find a new apartment. Market rate rent was $1,400 a month versus the $800 he'd been paying me, plus security deposit and moving costs, another $3,500. He'd lost about $15,000 a year from the territory reassignment. Total financial impact on Andrew in the first year, over $30,000. The irony? Amanda and Andrew couldn't afford to live together, even if they wanted to. They were both financially destroyed. Andrew moved into a cheap studio in a worse neighborhood. Amanda was living with her mother temporarily to save money. The social destruction was brutal. Amanda lost most of our mutual friends. After hearing the story, they sided with me. Her own mother barely spoke to her for months. "You destroyed your family for what? For Andrew?" Her father refused to see her. The church community we occasionally attended, whispers, judgment. Amanda stopped going. She deleted her social media accounts after cruel comments. Andrew was exiled from the entire family. My mother, sisters, extended family, everyone cut him off. He used to be proud to say, "My brother raised me." Now it was a source of shame. Friends from college and high school distanced themselves. His ex-girlfriend posted on social media, "Glad I dodged that bullet." Public humiliation. Both Amanda and Andrew started showing signs of psychological breakdown. Amanda started therapy in July, diagnosed with depression, prescribed antidepressants. Andrew had a panic attack at work in August, took medical leave for 2 weeks. By October, they'd turned on each other. Amanda blamed Andrew. "You said it would be fine, that we'd be happy." Andrew blamed Amanda. "This was your idea to announce at brunch." Their affair relationship was completely destroyed by the fallout. The custody arrangement finalized in August. I got full physical custody of Ethan. Amanda got primary custody of Noah, since I'm not his biological father, but Andrew is. Andrew initially wanted nothing to do with Noah. "I'm not ready to be a father," he said. But the court ordered child support, $450 a month. Noah lives primarily with Amanda. He sees Andrew twice a month, supervised visitation. And here's the part that haunts me. Noah's 6 now, started first grade this year. He asks Amanda, "Why doesn't Daddy Michael live with us anymore? Why is Ethan with Daddy Michael and I'm with Mommy?" Amanda tries to explain, age appropriately. "Sometimes families change. Daddy Michael loves you, but things are different now. The truth is I haven't seen Noah since Mother's Day. By choice." In therapy with Dr. Winters in September, she asked, "Do you think about Noah?" "Every day," I said. "I feel like a monster. He didn't do anything wrong, but I can't look at him and not see Andrew, and I can't pretend to be his father when I'm not." She said, "That's honest. It's painful, but it's honest. You're not obligated to maintain that relationship if it harms your healing. But what about what it does to him? He's 6. He doesn't understand." She didn't have an answer for that. The story spread through our community, suburban neighborhood, school system, the hospital. Reactions were mixed. Most people supported me. He did what he had to do. They betrayed him in the worst way. Some thought I went too far. He destroyed their lives. Was that necessary? Especially with the kids involved. School parents whispered and gossiped. Some avoided Amanda at drop-off and pickup. I overheard 2 women at the grocery store in October. They didn't realize I was there. I heard about that Anderson family drama. The wife cheated with the husband's brother. Can you imagine? I thought. I'm a story now, a cautionary tale. I won. On paper, I won everything. They lost their reputations, their money, their family. But at night, I lay in bed and stared at the ceiling, and I thought about Noah asking for me, and I wondered if revenge was supposed to feel this complicated. In the fall of 2024, I focused on healing, continued therapy with Dr. Winters, weekly at first, then every other week by November. We worked on processing the trauma, redefining my identity. I wasn't Andrew's brother anymore, wasn't Amanda's husband. I was Ethan's father. I was Michael, individual. Dr. Winters helped me accept complexity. You did the right thing for you. It hurt other people. Both can be true. I started journaling. One entry from October 15th. I don't regret exposing them. I regret that Noah is collateral damage. I regret that I can't separate the child from the betrayal. Maybe someday I will, but not today. I joined an online support group for betrayed spouses, found community, others who understood. My priority became ensuring Ethan felt loved and stable. He lives with me full time, visits Amanda every other weekend. We established new routines, Saturday morning pancakes, bedtime stories, Sunday park visits. Ethan asked questions. Why don't we live with Mommy? Where's Uncle Andrew? I gave him age-appropriate honesty without details. Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes. Mommy and I decided it's better if we live separately. Uncle Andrew and I aren't talking right now, but that's not about you. Ethan adjusted. He still had moments of sadness. His child therapist said he was coping well. My fear? Am I messing him up by keeping him from his brother? I made a decision. I allowed Ethan to see Noah during Amanda's custody time. Amanda had both boys occasionally, but I wasn't present. In November, I made a career change, left paramedic work, took a job as a 911 dispatcher, more stable hours, less emotionally draining, 8-hour shifts, set schedule. I needed to be present for Ethan. Dispatcher work was challenging but fulfilling in a different way. Still helping people, but from a distance. New coworkers didn't know my story. Fresh start. It felt good to be somewhere where I wasn't the guy whose wife cheated with his brother. I was just Michael. I reconnected with old friends I'd neglected during the marriage. Mostly guys from paramedic training. Started playing rec league basketball on Thursday nights. In December, I met someone new. Her name is Laura. She's 36, works as a physical therapist. We met through a mutual friend at a basketball game. Her brother's on my team. First conversation was casual, sports, work. Laura didn't know my story initially. Second meeting, coffee. I was nervous. First date in over 12 years. Eventually, I told her my story. Third date. I need to be honest about my situation. It's complicated. She listened, then said, "That's a lot, but we've all got histories. You seem like you're working through it." The relationship developed slowly. No rush, just companionship. Laura met Ethan in January. Casual introduction. Ethan liked her. I wasn't looking for this. But maybe that's when you find it. In February, Laura said to me, "You're a good dad. Whatever happened before, you're showing up now. That matters." Also in February, I wrote a letter to Noah. Therapeutic exercise, not intended to send. I wrote, "I'm sorry I can't be your dad anymore. You didn't ask for any of this. You're innocent. But I can't separate you from the betrayal. Maybe that makes me weak. Maybe it makes me human. I hope your life is good. I hope you're happy. I hope someday you understand, even if you don't forgive me." I kept the letter in a drawer. Maybe I'll give it to him when he's 18. Maybe I won't. But writing it helped. I wasn't healed. I don't know if you ever fully heal from something like this. But I was living. I was present for my son. I was building something new. And for the first time since that key appeared on my nightstand, I felt like maybe I'd be okay. It's April 2025 now. 1 year since Mother's Day. Amanda's still in that small apartment, still working at County General, barely. Her relationship with Andrew is completely over. They haven't spoken in 6 months. She has primary custody of Noah. She's struggling financially and emotionally. Her mother told my mother recently, she's depressed. She knows she destroyed everything. She can't undo it. Andrew's still working at Med Supply Solutions, still paying off that loan to me. $300 a month, like clockwork. He lives alone in a studio apartment, sees Noah twice a month, court-ordered. He's visibly uncomfortable with fatherhood. He's completely exiled from the family. Hasn't seen our mother or sisters in a year. He tried to reach out to me once in March. One text, "I don't expect forgiveness, but I need you to know I'm sorry." I didn't respond. As for me, I'm 41 now, still in the same house. Ethan's 7, thriving. My relationship with Laura is serious. We're not living together yet, but we're committed. My dispatcher job is going well. Work-life balance has improved. I still do therapy monthly, down from weekly. I still have no contact with Noah. That's my choice. People ask me if it was worth it, if the revenge was worth the cost. I don't know how to answer that. I lost my brother. I lost my marriage. I lost one of the kids I thought was mine. But I kept my dignity. I kept my truth. And I kept Ethan. I think about Noah sometimes. I wonder if he hates me. I wonder if he'll understand someday. I hope he does. But I can't change what I did. Andrew and Amanda made their choices for 18 months. They lied every single day. I made mine in 1 day, and I'd make it again. You can't betray the hand that raised you and expect that hand to still hold you. I thought I was raising Andrew. Turns out he was just waiting to take what was mine. I don't hold anything for them anymore. No loyalty, no love, no second chances, and I'm okay with that. I'm not the same person I was on that Mother's Day. I'm harder, I'm colder, but I'm also free, and for the first time in my adult life, I'm living for me and my son. Not for anyone else. Not for people who'd take everything and give nothing back. Just us. And that's enough.